only 'cause you love rugby. So what you think of this tax fee?
So we're obviously, again, naming our dream teams, dream 15s, different genre every episode. We've done Scrum Cap 15. Today's episode is Style Points 15. So if we just give a little bit of an overview of what I think our outlook is probably a bit different on what style points are. So we'll give that and then we can argue our points as we go along. So
fine.
You've got what style points? What is your synopsis?
The style points, so my criteria are that they're basically aesthetically pleasing. They look good when they play.
Yeah.
And like generally quite entertaining to watch as well.
Yeah.
So when they look good, I don't mean necessarily sort of pretty or handsome. It's like, I think almost the kit they wear comes into it. So I could never pick like a Leicester player for style points because they always look rubbish.
Remember they should have like, was it letters on the back of their kit?
The ABC for the front row.
Yeah, I'm like, in my head, I think I like offloads as well. Like offloads is massive for me, really stylish. Side steps as well, good footwork, big one for me. And even like sitting people down, that's probably like the lowest of the criteria for me. But like, you know, being powerful and just like little sit down, little offload out of the contact, little things like that.
Okay. All right. With the offload on top, I don't know if brute force for
not
Bosches and stuff would fit that comfortably for me. But we can argue it out if you buy any.
Yeah. Okay, so should we start at number 1? Because that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, do you want to
go? Yeah, so obviously my number 1 is Matt Dunn. No, it's not Matt Dunn. Although that drop goal could get him into style points quite easily.
It's pretty unstylish drop goal.
Very true. Well, I had Gethin in my head for a long time. Gethin Jenkins. Probably, I think when you think in the front row, you're thinking of players who are like front row, but like in a back row's mindset or back row's body, or play a little bit like a back row player.
Failed flankers.
Flankers. So Gethin Jenkins was quite high up there. But I didn't go for him. I went for someone who maybe wasn't a stylist towards the end of his career, or he's still playing now, but I went for Mako Vunipola. So obviously, what is it? Where's he from? He's Blackwood's finest, isn't he? Mako Vunipola. He's got
I thought they all lived in Ebbw Vale for a bit.
Yeah, I think
Kingsley Jones had something to do with it.
Yeah. But yeah, I went for
Kingsley Jones' dad or something was like their agent.
Mako Vunipola, I've seen him put little kicks in for Sarah. You can tell when he gets a ball in his hands, he wants to play a little bit. He wants to do that. I think England, as always, probably coached it out of him a little bit, and he ended up being a bit of a brute. But he was a Lions player, 79 caps for England. I think he played for the Lions test team 9 times. Always really good at like out the back, sort of passing.
I'm not sure. I don't know if he started in every test of 3 Lions tours.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, I went on his wiki and he did have 9, but that could be...
I think 2017 was the tour when he was playing a lot and starting. Yeah. So I'm sure it might have been Gethin that won before. I've also gone Gethin Jenkins. Because I would say, listening to a description of Mako Vunipola, I would say Gethin... You could describe Gethin in the same way for all of those different characteristics, but a higher level. Yeah. So like say Mako Vunipola did the odd kick, Gethin Jenkins would do some really... the try against Namibia, that is probably a good showcase of his entertainment value, I think.
Yeah, and like obviously it's against like one of the lower nations, but like this was like the culmination of like all of those like moments of him, being a really good rugby player, really good over the ball as a back, like a back row player would be. He was a great jackler. But
he's
dummy kick, sidestep, absolutely.
There's a compilation of his biggest hits as well. I think he's underrated as a tackler. I'd go as far as saying he's the best European loosehead that there's ever been.
Yeah,
modern era, pro era.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
You could argue maybe Andrew Porter, but he's basically another tight head, isn't he?
Yeah. So, sort of. What do we reckon?
Honourable mention for Rod Snow as well.
Rod Snow. I had the baby rhino in there as well, Ellis Genge. But I think he's a bit brute force, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't meet my like style.
No, he hasn't got the subtlety
definition.
Yeah, he hasn't got the subtlety of some of those ones we said. So I think we're going to say
he's the first ever cool English player as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
from the rough streets of Bristol as well. Gethin Jenkins then. That's a good shout. And obviously we've got the Welshman in there pretty early doors. I think
it's got to be mad.
Is there going to be loads of Welsh people in this? I don't know.
Fuck yeah. oh.
Okay.
We'll see.
Hooker, do you want to start with Hooker?
Yeah, I didn't have a great time with Hooker, so I went Sharp Brits.
Yeah, I went Sharp Brits.
Did you?
But yeah, I've got some honourables.
I realised he also wore a scrum cap as well. Didn't he? Could have made it last week because we went bloody Rory best.
Very true.
Yeah, there was a period we used to play with the Saracens where he would score like 50-metre tries, gas in, backs, step in.
Yeah.
There's not much more to say on him really. I know he's won a World Cup with South Africa. He never really made it international level. I've also gone Shota Hori, the Japanese hooker.
That's great.
The guy with the, I think they're dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Japan 2015, 2019, some of the best, most entertaining rugby ever played, and he was a fairly important part of that.
But the Sharp Brits, again, when we're talking about, front row forwards who were like back row players, he was absolutely blockbuster. He used to score, like you said, amazing tries, great feet. He had
really quick, wasn't he?
Really, really quick. Really effective. I loved him. A couple of others I had down there. I had Sam Matavesi.
Right.
So that's Josh's brother, isn't it?
Yeah, he played for. Is he at Northampton now?
Yeah, maybe he is. And I watched a couple of clips of him, and his footwork is unbelievable. Like stepping people in phone boxes. I really like him.
Really, I don't think I've seen that much of him really.
And like an unbelievable ball carrier, quick, effective, and amazing side steps as well. Like his footwork was unreal. I think I looked earlier. He only got about 15 caps for South Africa, which is a bit of a travesty, really.
He's got so much depth everywhere in the front row, haven't he?
Yeah.
He's had Malcolm Marks ahead of him.
Yeah.
Maybe even Bismarck du Plessis for a bit.
Yeah. I also had Dane Coles down there. He's very much like a back. He was, you see some of the tries he scores.
Dane Coles, yeah. I think Dane Cole's a better shot than Sharp Brits, even though Sharp Brits is mine.
No, I look. You watching Sharp Brits on these clips is handling everything. He's just you're watching him here. He doesn't look like a hooker.
No, he's an athlete.
He could easily get away with playing 6, couldn't he?
But he wasn't doing it top level internationally, and or either was a World Cup winner.
No,
but we both
went for him. I think Sharp Brits is a shout, and he was a real entertainer. That Saracen side when they had a rocking, they were unstoppable.
Yeah,
Heineken Cup.
They were just efficient, weren't they? Very big pack, good kicker, very very sort of old school English stereotype.
Yeah,
Malvaka, if he'd been around longer as well, when he burst on the scene this World Cup, he runs like a.
That's France.
Yeah. We took Julian Marchand, who was also amazing.
Yeah.
They both play for Toulouse, which is wild.
We'll go Sharp Brits with that.
Yeah, okay.
Right, tight heads. So I'll start with tight heads.
Okay.
I know we were both struggling a little bit for tight heads.
Yeah, we were.
And I sort of pulled one out of the bag a little bit. So I've gone for Taniela Tupu, aka Tongan Thor. And I remember this because there was loads of compilation clips of him coming out when he was in high school and when he was in college.
Yeah.
And you see this with like footballers and I see a lot with basketball players. They never really reach those. You think, that's the next big thing. But he has just properly backed it up and become, a world class, not just tight head, but a world class rugby player. And he is so fun to watch.
Yeah, he is really fun to watch.
He's done he's had some try assists which are absolutely outrageous for Australia, with like really slight hands.
There's one sort of big cat flap I can remember.
Yeah.
It's all strange that he's a tight head, isn't it? Not a loose head.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you normally associate tight heads with just set piece, and then loose heads get a bit more freedom around the park to do this sort of thing. But this against Italy, I remember this.
But yeah, he's a step. But I guess it's his size. He's so big that he can afford to be a tight end.
Yeah, look at this bounce on Messam.
Wow. Yeah, I love him. I think he's got everything. And when you look
Messam tries to do his shoulder in there as well.
But yeah, footwork, hands, carryability. Obviously, he can scrummage as well because he scrummages international level, Tri-Nations or Rugby Championship as it is now. This is the offloads to Karevi on the wing. So
it's really unnecessary as well.
Yeah,
so the style points you get.
Yeah, 100%.
Just for the showboating.
So if you can pull out a tight head prop, that offload as well. He is a freak. I love him. Absolutely love him.
Okay. So I really struggled with tight head to the point that I actually texted Dab to ask what his tight head was, and I was going to copy and say Tongan Thor. This morning, weirdly, first thing I thought of when I woke up, and I'm really happy with this, maybe from like a niche Welsh rugby hipstery sort of point of view, I got Martin Madden.
Martin Madden, oh my god.
Type in...
did he get caps for Wales?
He did get cap for Wales. Yeah, he's a Cardiff boy. He went to... 5
caps for Wales.
I think he played for Old Ilts.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing his playing for Old Ilts youth. I remember seeing his photo in the clubhouse. Martin Madden, yeah, I watched this try this morning. Yeah, the cup-winning try against Ebbw Vale. Can I also mention, while we watch this, that S4C, S4C scoreboard for me is...
iconic.
Yeah, pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
And he was rapid and proper party time to watch. Just really fun.
Yeah, I agree. I love that.
Seemed like a really fun character as well. There's something about that Llanelli team, late 90s. Certain players they had. Chris Wyatt, the One Man Riot.
They
had that maiden on the front, remember, playing a bugle or something for no. Oh, that's the kit.
I always thought he just looked like he was enjoying himself playing.
Yeah, he did.
He really did look like he was enjoying himself.
Finish that is though, and it's kept final.
Yeah, Madden's a good shout. I don't think he's going to quite make it over Tonga.
Yeah,
but
that
is a huge shout. I like that. He was a really good player as well. I think if he could have got it all together, he could have been he could have got a few more caps for Wales.
Yeah, I really feel like I have to find a theme that he fits and starts tight head prop for.
100%.
And I'm sure he will.
I think he owns a quite successful cleaning company now.
Is it just called Martin Madden
Cleaning?
Yeah,
definitely.
I was going to say carpets. That's Colin Chavez, isn't it? Colin Chavez carpets.
Yeah. Taniela Tupu, the Tongan Thor as tight head. I also had
TUPOU. I think.
I also had down there Ben Tamiafuna. When he burst on the scene, he was a really fun player to watch.
Ben. He was still played the last World Cup and showed up well as well.
Yeah, he looked good. Obviously a humongous bloke, absolutely. But he had those skills as well. He had a little bit in the tank. I did have Tag Furlong as well. I think probably just for that hot step in against New Zealand. If you remember.
I do, but again, this is a thing where I think our criteria are slightly different because Tag Furlong is one of the best tight heads of all time. If not, maybe no, because they've never got past a World Cup quarter. He can't be the best. But that Island kit is so minging, and just the shape of him is not aesthetically pleasing.
No,
compared to Tongan Thor, who
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no elegance there, even if he is outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. But I think he has got to have a shout out because he's an amazing tight head prop, but he has got a bit more about him. I think tight heads are starting to realise that if they can have a little bit more around the field, they're so valuable to teams now, aren't they?
Yeah, we've moved away from Adam Jones, unfortunately, haven't we?
Yeah, most definitely. Right, second rows. I've got a feeling that we're probably going to have the exact same 2 second rows because I know that we both love them.
There's one I think we'll agree on.
Let me do the first one. You can do the second one because I think we'll agree on this one. Leono Nakarawa.
Yeah, 100%.
So I did a little bit of research on Nakarawa earlier, just to see what his background was, and he's obviously sevens, so he's got an Olympic gold medal in sevens.
I didn't know he was in that team. That team was mad. It had Radradra and Tuisova.
Anyone who plays second row but is also unbelievable at sevens, have got to be one of the most skillful players around. When you're, probably 6'5" plus, and you're playing in the sevens team, so you can have the speed, you can have the skills, all of that stuff. So he's got a gold medal in sevens.
Just the fitness to carry that weight around.
I know, exactly.
Sevens fitness is a different level, isn't it?
I think he'd signed for Glasgow, and then he went back and played in the sevens in between, so the timings were a little bit, he was playing sevens while he was signed with Glasgow. And I also read, which is quite a cool little fact, he's got the Order of the Fiji Award. So for doing things for the country of Fiji. So obviously for rugby, I assume all of the
services
to Fiji. So yeah, and he's actually got a really cool career. Glasgow, Racing, Toulon.
Glasgow's when I remember him. Oh well, yeah, 8 years at Glasgow. That's quite weird, isn't it? Some of these appearances can't be right. I don't think. How has he got more appearances for Racing in 3 years and Glasgow in 8?
Yeah, that's true. But 66 caps for Fiji. He's obviously played sevens for Fiji. Won a gold medal in the World Cup. Yeah. Someone described him the other day as the octopus because
he's the best offloader I've ever seen.
I think. Well. I will
say Sonny Bill.
Yeah, I'll argue that later, but I think best forwards offloader I've ever seen. Absolutely unbelievable. I used, there's not many forwards where they get a ball and I'm like, what's going to happen next? And he completely fits that bill. He just he's so exciting to watch. Yeah. So exciting.
And I'm just thinking now, I haven't got him in my team, but similar style of offload and maybe responsible for the best offload I've ever seen is Bill Matter 8 for Fiji.
Okay. Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers.
No, he's not in my team.
Yeah, he may be in mine.
Oh, may he be.
Who else did I have on just as my other honourable mention? I had Will Skelton down there. A bit of a brute, but being so big like that, he has got a bit of an offload game to him as well. But he's nowhere near Nakarawa for me.
I'm sure we've spoken about Will Skelton before. You don't rate him.
I don't rate him massively. No, I think but he was my backup. But no one's getting past Nakarawa for me on one. So who was your first, second row?
Same.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Nakarawa. Honourable mention again. I don't know about 4 and 5. Honourable mention for that one is Johnny Eels, just because he used to take kicks.
Yeah.
I'm sure I read it's pretty cheesy, but I read somewhere that his nickname's Nobody because nobody's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
And he used to take kicks. I don't know if it was just distance ones or.
No, I think
he kicked all of them. I'm sure he won the Bledisloe Cup once with a last minute kick.
Was he kicking in the Rugby World Cup in Wales? The first rugby. Well,
it was Larkham 10 then.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, big shout out to Rhys Edmonds, big fan of the pod. He reckons that forwards who kick
again.
Forwards who kick should definitely have a shouting style points. Because
as in place kick?
Yeah, place kick. Is there anyone you can think of since 2010 as a forward?
Not since 2010. Wasn't John Taylor in the 70s for Wales, Basil Brush? He used to be good at it.
Yeah, I think that is. To be fair, forwards kicking do look very unstylish, but it's a
second row as well.
I know, it's a cool thing to be able to do. Imagine how big his feet were. He must have been a size 14 foot as in it.
It is weird that none of the backs could kick better than him.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair play. And he was definitely captain when they won the World Cup in 99. Doubt he was captain, but he also was in this Australia squad that won the World Cup in 91. So 2 World Cups in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite mad to think at one point Australia had more World Cups than anyone else, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Nakarawa do you want to do your second row?
Yeah. I've gone Simon Shaw.
Okay, Simon Shaw.
Because, I don't know why he didn't seem that established for any period of time for England. You had Martin Johnson, obviously, and then it just seemed to the other second row seemed to switch between a few players, maybe Kay or Grewcock for longer than Shaw. But then watching Simon Shaw for the Lions in 2009, he's such a skillful player. He did loads of that basketball one-handed, sort of offload over the tackler to someone else. Really stylish sort of player to watch.
I know his first video comes up on YouTube is Red Card, Simon Shaw. But yeah, and then it's just all.
Oh yeah, on the tour that I just spoke about as well.
Yeah,
should we go Shaw run back try? Pulling a bloody kneel back try up.
Yeah, but he was quick as well.
Yeah,
he was really, really
He
quick.
was about 6'8" or 9, I think.
Yeah, I used to like. Is he a World Cup winner? He was a World Cup winner. No, maybe.
I think he probably was in that squad. Yeah,
But yeah, I like that shout. But I'm about to have a better shout, I think.
Okay.
Somebody who's playing a little bit closer to home, who I've been enjoying thoroughly for the Scarlets over the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you know who I'm talking about?
Sam
Lucy. Absolutely amazing. From the ilk of Nakarawa a little bit, that offload game. I think I read that he's rugby league background, Sam Lousy.
Oh, is he? I remember him playing for the Hurricanes for a bit. That is a good call. He's a more obviously stylish player than Simon Shaw.
Yeah, and I think he's been so good for the Scarlets in second row.
Him and Fafita. I mean, Fafita's unbelievable. I know he plays more in the back row as well.
But he's actually been moved back to 6 now, hasn't he? So they signed him as a second
Look at
row.
that. The spin he got on that as well, just to get out of your hands on that angle.
He's such a fun player. Again, I think he's a second row by trade, but he's been so good that they've moved him back to 6 now, and this is him in his rugby league days as well. I think for me, just if you're talking about style points, he is.
That's fair.
He is.
I'm reluctant to put an English player in my style points.
Yeah.
I've also after Simon Shaw, I've also put Chris Wyatt, the one-man riot, because he had some great skills. I think he played volleyball for Wales as well.
Did he?
And I remember being in David Lloyd's when I was about 8 or something, pre-smoking ban, and just watching him smoke a fag, finish it, and light his next one with the last one.
Oh my God.
He was hardcore one-man riot, deserved the nickname.
He was quite a good player, actually, wasn't he?
He was awesome, Chris White. Yeah, that Graham Henry era. You had him and Craig Quinnell. I know we spoke about Botha and Matfield last week for balance. That's a really good balanced.
Yeah, one bruiser, one skillful.
One line-out athlete.
Yeah, I like that. I think we'll go Sam Lousy though. I think he's having a fantastic season. Well, a couple of seasons now for the Scarlets. Full international Tongan, I think he is.
There's often criticism when Welsh regions buy foreign players. But he's an example of money well spent, I think. I think he's going next year, or he's likely to go, and the Scarlet's going to be even worse next year.
Yeah.
Without him and Fafita, probably their 2 best players at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Right, moving on to the back row then. Blindside flanker, so we go first. I think you did the last one. I'll start with this one. I've gone it's hard with the back row because I love so many number 8s, and I was like, oh, well, he can play 6, he can play 7, he can play as he's number 8. So I've gone Big Bill Matter, who you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot, actually.
I think his last couple of seasons, everyone sees him as this big ball carrying sort of monster.
He's just class at everything.
But he is class at everything, and his
hit on
some of the offloads.
This is the best offload I've ever seen.
Yeah, some of the offloads he can pull off is just unbelievable.
Man.
So I've gone Bill Matter. I think style points, footwork, power, offloads. There's not much he can't do. I love to watch him play. What he's done at Edinburgh, he sort of revitalised Edinburgh. I think. They've been,
and again, playing for a team as boring as Edinburgh with a kit as bad as them, and to stand out as a stylish player, this hit on Harris, whoa, was like an NFL hit, wasn't it?
So I went for Bill Matter. Who have you got?
I struggled with 6 almost as much as Tighthead because I like a sort of unsung, dirty work.
Yeah,
I'm loath to say it, a Richard Hill type 6, or a Lidget if you like. So my favourite 6s are never ones that stand out for any entertainment value. But I went with Abdel Benazir.
Okay.
I remember him, he got a lot of caps for France in the 90s. I think you'd recognise him. He's got quite a distinctive look. Excuse me?
Abdel. Is this him? Abdel Benazir, French Moroccan rugby union player. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And he's I thought he was from Casablanca. He's from somewhere else in Morocco. Really skillful, just the epitome of that sort of 90s French sort of grizzled but stylish forward.
Yeah.
And being French gets you an extra plus style points as well, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't really got any French in there so far. There's definitely some to come from me in the backs. But yeah, okay.
He represented Morocco as well as a player.
Oh, that's
Which
amazing.
is interesting.
78 caps. I can't believe I can't remember.
Oh, but yeah, but up to 2001 as well. I didn't even think he played till that recently.
All right, cool.
I think.
Do you think you win that one, or do we want to go with Big Bill?
Oh, we'll go Big Bill because you haven't heard of Benazir.
Oh, cool. That's on me, though.
Bill, mate.
Bill Matter. Okay, 7.
Colin Travis, honourable mention, because he was, I'm sure this is right, I should have done my research to back this up. I'm sure for a bit, he was the top international try scorer for a forward
He was,
in the
yeah,
world.
he was.
And I remember that 2003 World Cup that was really fun in the Steve Hansen. He scored a try at a celebration for a bit, was just doing that with his hair. Which is, having a celebration of rugby is ballsy. But if you pull it off, which I think he did, I think that's style points, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure he's still Wales' all-time forwards try scorer.
Maybe. Hookers are taking over now for try scoring, aren't they? But
yeah, very true.
I don't think Wales have any.
I remember there was a massive mural of him in Walkabout. As he went up the stairs in Walkabout, there was just Colin Travis massive on the wall.
Well, I mean, some walkabouts.
No, yeah, this is when he was playing. They haven't got it up now. This is when in his pomp, you know. Yeah, Bill Matter. Okay.
I mean, I've never seen him play 6, but
yeah, someone come at us in the comments. Right, okay, 7. Okay, so I went first. Do you want to go first for 7? I know.
So
No, because I haven't done it.
Every fucking what?
No,
just to be
because I knew you would do it, and I thought we can't have. There was a slight worry for me that we were going to have the exact same team because we love very similar players, and this really is, you know, our favourite players and who we talk about. So I know who you're going to say. So
yeah, it's obviously Justin Tipperick, and in brackets here, my notes I put the only scrum cap inclusion, and style-wise, scrum caps are bullshit, aren't they? So that speaks volumes of the sort of player he was, that he's in there with a scrum cap. But then, in capital letters, I put update, Shark Brits actually has one too.
Yeah, very
unfortunately.
True. But he didn't make the scrum cap 15.
This is an amazing try, but it's a game that we end up losing. If you put, have you seen the offloads he did to Chris Ashton, the Barbarians? That might be better than Bill Matters, actually.
Is this it?
This is it. Wow. Yeah.
Second up. Yeah, like, what else can we say about Justin Tipperick? He's probably going to make so many of our teams.
So we need to limit it to a minute each episode, because there's going to be
Yeah, but I could talk about and watch Justin Tipperick all day long.
He socks down, scrum cap, long hair that doesn't suit him at all, and he's still a more stylish player.
Yeah.
Look at him. This was last year.
Kicking.
I thought his legs had gone. He's retired for Wales. He's still doing this sort of crazy shit.
Yeah, I love him. I do love him. He's the one. Okay, so I went for someone slightly different because I knew you were going to do that, and I didn't want to pick the same.
My honourable mentions: Jean-Pierre Rive, who was the 70s blonde bombshell who played for France as a flanker and is now a professional painter.
Okay, love that.
/ Akapusi Ngera, remember the Fijian flanker who played for Gloucester? He was really like fun, attacking, fast player. / Martin Williams.
Right, my choice. Any
thoughts on Nugget as an honourable mention?
That is, I didn't think of him once, and that is an absolute shout. Offloads. But like, he was the kind of player back when Wales were winning Grand Slams and Six Nations. They would be tap and goes, and Martin Williams would just be first there. Absolutely.
2005 France.
Like, doing the orchestra, do you know what I mean? He was just like running the show. Get a ball in it. Like, that's what you do. You get a ball, you get it in his hand straight away because you knew something was going to happen. 2 tries against France away from home in that one Grand Slam.
Yeah. Well, Gatlin called him out of retirement, didn't he? Because he knew how.
That's a shout, actually, Martin Williams.
Because also, if you think of how good he was, and you could argue he wasn't much of an athlete, but his I don't know what you call it, his nous of being at the right place, the right time, and just being a proper nuisance, made him one of the best flankers in Europe.
But I will say he wasn't, for some reason, the most stylish of players.
No. I think I would argue him and Tipperick had similar skill sets, but Tipperick's a better athlete.
Yeah.
And has more well documented like crazy skill moments, I think.
Well, mine is Juan Martin Fernandez Lobby. I think a lot of people see him as a bit of a brute force, but when he was playing in that Toulon team, and they had all the best players in the world, his skill set and line out, his offload game, it really came alive then. I think Argentina sort of saw him more as a bit of a brute, but really, he did have an amazing skill set, and I think when Toulon were battering everyone, he looked so good.
He was good for Sale for a bit, I think. Or was that his they were brothers, weren't they? And I think I often confused them.
But, I did a little bit of research earlier, and there was a little panel on Sky Sports, and they were saying how he is one of the best Argentinian players of all time. I think he may not get away with style points so much because I think he was a bit more of a brute force. I just loved him in line out. I loved his little touches. He had lovely hands.
He was good. That Toulon team was mad.
This try, obviously winning the Heineken Cup in the stadium where he went back and forth. He's my shout. But
that's a good call. And also on the kit thing, being Argentinian helps because they've always got the best kits.
And this try's lovely as well, scoring back and forth for Argentina.
Even watching them play in their stadium, things look, I don't know, certain stadiums are more fun to watch than others.
Yeah, especially those South American stadiums.
There's something also about the picture quality that's slightly different, isn't it? It's like grainy. I don't know why.
Definitely. I think we'll go with Justin Tipperick because... Because, okay. Absolute baller. Right, number 8. I've got 4 people.
Okay. I've got between 2, but I'm going for Parise.
I'm going for Parise as well.
It was between Parise and Zinzan Brook.
Yeah, I had Zinzan Brook as well.
Zinzan is... I can't say I watched loads and loads of him, but there's that drop goal in the 95 World Cup, which wasn't it like near the halfway line and the touch line? And it was like, I think it was in the quarter final, maybe against England.
Well, he was a proper leader as well, wasn't he? He was, captain of New Zealand. I'm sure he's another forward kicker. I'm sure he's another kicker. 58 captains.
He was the sort of player when we were growing up in the 90s and Wales were dog shit, you'd look at players like Zinzan Brook in New Zealand and be like, he's just on a completely different level to anything we've seen in Wales.
And I've just found out, I've just looked at his stats. Lazio. He played for Lazio in Italy, which I'm not even sure they've still got a rugby team anymore.
There was a period, like Michael Liner, for some reason, I think Italy was a bit of Japan now in terms of buying expensive marquee players. I don't know where the money came from or the market for it. But Lewis Liner qualifies for Italy now because he was born there because his dad Michael played there.
Okay.
So there was a bit of I think there was a period, maybe late 80s, early 90s, where these random Italian clubs were just getting these marquee players.
Yeah. Obviously that drop goal.
I'm guessing he's part of that.
Yeah, drop goal, 95 World Cup or whatever.
I'm sure it was a quarter final.
Unbelievable. But I also had Adi Sevilla down there. Yeah, I think he's a bit of a brute, but I've noticed recently the sort of skill set he's got, that big dummy he's throwing at the moment.
The over-the-top dummy that still seems to fool players.
Yeah, so I really like Adi Sevilla. I think
he's world player of the year, isn't he?
Yeah, so I really like Adi, but I didn't go for him. We went for Sergio Parise. I think
he's done some crazy things. Ball in hand, Parise.
I think he was the most capped player in the world for a while. If he was just born like right now, or if he was playing, I've been in the lab. I haven't been watching video, but imagine slotting that Parise into the Italy team right now. he was in such a bad team for so long, and by the end, I think people even generally felt a little bit sorry for him because he was just a world-class player in a team which truly weren't very world-class.
And he was loyal to Stade Francais for age, didn't he? I don't think he won anything with them for a long time. I think he eventually did, but only in his mid-30s.
Yeah, he went to Toulon, didn't he? For a little bit.
For like, a year or two.
But I would probably say, and this might be a big shout, probably the best number 8 ever.
That is a big shout because
we're talking about
number 8 ever. Yeah,
I'm
just trying to think of different World Cup winning teams.
142 caps for Italy.
Best number 8 ever. So who was it being Vermeulen's got 2 World Cups. Vermeulen is the best number 8 ever. Kieran Reid was amazing for a bit.
I also had Kieran Reid in
Talio.
Yeah, maybe. I had Kieran Reid in my list as well. Mackenzie Martin. That's it. No, I had Kieran Reid in my list as well. I like that offload against the Lions when he was getting tackled out of the scrum.
Oh, yeah.
And
he hadn't played for 6 months before that game or something. Yeah. I remember, and he just did that.
But Parise, for me, I remember him getting kick assists for Italy.
He's had drop goals before as well. Maybe not for Italy, but for Stade. I think he got one against the Ospreys once.
Yeah, for me, I think he's possibly one of my favourite number 8s of all time. I think top 3 number 8s.
Yeah, I'd have to have a think about the best number 8 of all time conversation. But he's definitely got a case for best European 8 of all time.
Right, so Sergio Parise gets in. So, happy with that pack? That fucking hell, that is filth.
Gethin Jenkins, Schultz Brits, Tanya Tupo. I still think Gethin Jenkins, Martin Madden props is absolute party time.
Yeah.
Nakarawa, Sam Lousy, Bill Matter, Justin Tipuric. Yeah, I like the back row. It's quite balanced as well, the back row.
Yeah, the coach is definitely saying from time to time, please don't fucking offload all the time because we're dropping the ball all the time.
Who's your style points coach?
Maybe Pat Lam. Pat Lam for Bristol he's a fucking really good party time coach. He loves that.
Entertainment value, I go Lynn Davis.
Graham Henry got Wales playing as well, though, didn't he? Remember when he brought Shane back in?
Well, not as much as is it Cadwin? The last?
Yeah.
I get mixed. No, Cadwin was the guy who never coached Wales but coached the Lions, and then it was Clive Rowlands. Oh, we're not going to get anyone over 50 watching this, are we? So, I might be getting that wrong, but my dad would be like,
Pivac makes some good fucking...
Pivac Scarlets?
Yeah, Pivac Scarlets coach, mate. Fucking hell, he'd get that team playing, I'm telling you.
Who's the most entertaining team of all time that isn't a Fiji Sevens team?
Maybe that Japan fucking World Cup team.
Eddie Jones?
Oh,
let's go, who's the next guy? Joseph.
Yeah, he had caps for New Zealand, didn't he? Can't remember his first name for some reason.
I want to say it's not Jonathan Joseph.
Jamie Joseph. Yeah, that's a good shot actually. He got 20 caps for New Zealand.
Japan against Scotland 2019.
How did he have 9 caps for Japan?
For residency. 90s, they loved it. Remember the bash-ups?
No.
Played with Samoa and New Zealand.
But yeah, that's our forwards. I like that. That's a filthy team. Right.
Fucking hell. It's Craig and Scott Quinnell.
Okay, let's get on to the backs then, after that little interlude.
Yeah.
I actually haven't got a number 9 written down because I was so between so many players.
I was between 3.
I was between quite a few scrum halves. I haven't got one written down because I couldn't decide. But John Moss Williams is definitely up there.
John Moss?
Yeah, John Moss Williams.
John Moss Williams!
Obviously, the mercurial Antoine Dupont. But I went for somebody who when I was younger, I used to love watching play, and me and my old man used to love watching play, and that's Juice van der Westhuizen. I think towards the end of his career, he was seen as a bit of a bulky 9 because he was oversized.
Oh, he was massive.
But early on in his career, I've never seen someone glide on a rugby field like Eust. He was one of the quickest scrum halves you will ever see. I used to absolutely love him.
He's still maybe the best 9 of all time, but I describe him as more of a beast. I think.
Yeah,
Beast athlete.
This is what I'm saying. I think if you watch, and I'll put a clip in the playlist on YouTube. What we're doing is we're doing for all these players and all these clips we're watching. So if anyone's listening just on the if anyone's listening, it's against Cardiff as well. If anyone's listening on the audio and I'm watching the clips of this, I've put a little playlist together on YouTube so you can go and watch all the clips.
Can we name these Cardiff players we can see?
Steve Ford.
Back. Steve Ford, good shout. Emin Lewis, Taru.
But yeah, I think early on in his career, he wasn't seen as this big, bulky scrub. He was seen as a really rangy, long-distance runner.
But he was always big, wasn't he?
He was always tall, but yeah, he at one point he was South Africa's leading try scorer. I think he had 38, and he was their leading caps as well. Obviously, that's probably been decimated by now.
He's firing all these Welsh clubs, isn't he? Swansea, St Helens, is it?
So yeah, I went with Eust. Obviously, the late greats as well.
I still don't see how he fits the style points of either definition.
For me, it was that gliding, like that running. He didn't look like he was trying very hard, but he just used to glide past players, really hard to tackle. So, I could have gone DuPont and gone the easy route, but
I thought of DuPont, but I think the thickness of his neck makes him look less stylish. Which isn't really, it doesn't count against him because DuPont is the best player I've ever seen live, I think, or maybe could end up being the best player of all time. But there's something about, he's just like a little unit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Even though he does things with style, something about with the aesthetic of him, he's more of a little machine, isn't he?
I tell you what, he's got the best cheekbones I've ever seen.
So I've also gone Jomos.
Jomos Williams!
I don't know why I'm doing it in reverse order, but I started now. Aaron Smith, I got in there as well. I mean, when New Zealand were dominating for years, got those 2 World Cups. Oh, no, maybe he wasn't around in the first one. 2015, Aaron Smith, quality. But my entry for 9, I've gone for Galtier, Fabien Galtier. Just for pure style points. The glasses and the way he dresses now as a coach does help. But he was one of the most stylish players I've ever seen. Just that French, petty general thing.
Yeah. And sometimes
rugby.
Sometimes it's hard to find clips of these players.
I think that's his team as a coach, though, isn't it?
Okay. So yeah. So, but he has got a bit of a.
Here we go. Yeah,
he has got
a bit of this.
He's got a flair as a coach as well, hasn't he? I'll be honest with you. He looks. He's a great coach. He gets his teams playing.
Apparently, he's a terrible manager. I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's reports of his his behaviour to the point of being a bit of a bully, which apparently is why they've got Rafael Ibanez in there. It was almost like the sort of the intermediary between Galtier and
Ibanez.
The team.
Ibanez would be so low on my style points 15 with that one-handed hooker throw. Oh my God.
Did he have a one-handed?
Yeah, he used to throw. Maybe especially early on in his career, he would throw that ball one-handed. It was the most ski-whiff thing ever.
Ledesma.
Ledesma thing as well. All right, yeah, that's a big shout.
Look at this, just everything looked a bit graceful.
I think you've absolutely nailed it there. Fabien Galtier gets in at number 9. Right, this is...
This is... Yeah, I've added since we spoke about it.
Have you really?
Yeah.
This is a tough position.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
should we just, let's give the normal justification for our starting and then just go through the list, because otherwise we'll be here for bloody ages.
Okay, so I don't want to lead with my number 1, but I will. My number 1 is Freddie Michalak. So I've obviously got, I think, 6-7 players for House and Half style points. Thomas Castaignade was very close to getting up there. That blonde hair, he used to tear Wales apart. He used to tear the Five Nations apart.
He did, yeah.
Watching some highlights back, I don't know if style is becoming, a new thing now. but he didn't look as effective as he did back then. I used to think he just on all these gaps and but Freddie Michalak was very much of that Thomas Castaneda ilk, and he used to be able to, but he had a little bit more discipline. He used to run the show. He used to be able to do everything: kick, pass, offload. He was, for me, he was the epitome of cool. That skinhead just looked cool all the time.
Didn't he also have a reputation for bottling big games, though?
Wow.
But no style. No, that maybe might not be relevant.
And look at him, he does look fucking cool.
He's a beautiful man.
And he obviously had an amazing career. Toulouse, Toulon, Lyon, played for the Sharks as well. The caps for...
He did play for the Sharks, didn't he? Yeah.
77
Random.
caps for France. 436 points. He was a goal kicker as well. I guess that lowers the stop. But yeah, he was an orchestrator. He was fun. He was just epitome of cool for me growing up. I absolutely loved him. So
14 years for France.
Yeah, I picked Freddie Michalak. What a fucking amazing player. What a graceful, beautiful, beautiful man.
Okay. I hope you'll hear me out on this, but I've gone Juan Martin Hernandez.
Okay,
2007 World Cup. Watching Hernandez kick the ball is almost a bit like watching Federer hit a tennis ball. It's something about just, his technique. Everything just looked natural and stylish. He did have party tricks and stuff like that. He used to do the banana kick. But there were a couple of years when he was on form. The most graceful, probably the most stylish player in my whole 15. I think he's the first one I went for. When I think of style points, he's the first guy I think of.
And have a look at the first clip from this tribute of him just sliding around on his finger, cool as you like. Yeah, no, you're right.
And the kicks he played in helped as well.
He never really kicked on, did he? He was I don't know. He it looked as if he was going to be amazing. He sort of disappeared for a little bit and then came back again, didn't he?
Was that just reflecting Argentina's form generally?
Yeah.
Even that thumbnail there, that kicking technique. You just see it there. Everything just looks symmetrical and smooth.
Which World Cup was it when they had an absolute... When Montero
2007.
was playing? Oh, they were just so fun to watch. They took people by surprise in the sense of, Argentina's a forwards-based team, and they came out with that just attack.
The backline, they had P-Shot 9, him 10, Contepomi 12. They had Corletto with a long hair fullback, remember?
Corletto on a great... Did he have gloves? I'm speaking on that. Yeah, Corletto...
May have done, yeah.
They beat Scotland, didn't they? Oh,
mates, they were in the same group as Ireland and France, beat them both in the group. I think South Africa beat them in the semi, and then they beat France again in the third place playoff. A team of I think a lot of them were playing in France back then. Look at that for a pass.
That's just silly, isn't it? He was a silly player.
And he could do stuff like that. I remember clearly when Leicester were really good and winning Europe and stuff. They had a couple of games against Starfall. So I'm guessing they were in the same pool or something. And Alassane Tuilagi, when he was really dominant in the European Cup, was running down the wing, he was surely in, and then out of nowhere, you didn't even realise he had it in him, just absolutely melts him out of touch. It's probably a legal tackle by today's standards, but...
Yeah, he played fullback a little bit. I think they sort of...
fullback for Stars a bit more.
But he was graceful, wasn't he?
And again, it's in that kit as well, it's the perfect combo.
And Andrew Ford has named this video Juan Martin Hernandez, the Maradona of rugby, which I think, for style points, that is massive, isn't it? To be compared to someone like Maradona, who's the ultimate, styles type player.
Kicking is obviously one of the more boring aspects of the sport, but I could watch him kick.
That would have been a fifth. That would have been. I think that would have been a 50-22 by today. Okay, so shall we rattle off some of our honourable mentions, because I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah,
I've got King Carlos.
Yeah, so have I.
I've never seen a more entertaining rugby player than him. Sometimes it was a little bit. Wouldn't always come off for King Carlos.
But he was committed to showboating, wasn't
he? Yeah, I remember an overhead kick he did against Northampton. The pass was behind him, so for Northampton, so he overhead kicked it. Do you want to fire one off?
No, go through all yours.
Cipriani, obviously, one of the, I guess, by England standards, one of the most underrated players for England. He should have, he could have and should have, up to 70, 80 caps for England. Quade Cooper, absolute hot stepper. Like, I could watch him play rugby non-stop.
That Reds team, when they won the Super Rugby, it was him and Gagne, and he was, just his highlight reel from that season alone was crazy.
Yeah, so, Thomas Castagnedo I'd mentioned as well, so there was plenty on my list there. So do you want to go through some of your honourable mentions for 10?
Yeah, Jared Evans.
Jared Evans, yeah, I didn't really think of it.
I've loved watching him play over the last few years.
Yeah.
Really unique style as well. Kind of an orthodox shape for a 10. I really like a 10 who plays flat to the line, and he's the best I've ever seen for that. I still feel a bit disappointed that it hasn't worked out for Wales. So Jared Evans, Phil Bennett, just from the footage I've seen, amazing. Quade Cooper, Carlos Spencer. I've also got Finn Russell in there. And Hugo Porter. Do you ever see any Hugo Porter? He was like the first great Argentine rugby player, and he played 10. He's got some amazing highlights on YouTube.
Okay. Porter.
If you got... we're not on YouTube, are we?
No, we can. 58 caps, 590 points. That's
But 58 caps in that era is like the equivalent to 100 plus now, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, cool. Drop goal king.
Yeah, if we can see a couple of clips that shows it, he had a really great style as well.
Nice. Okay. I love that little black and white as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll look into it a little bit more.
So that's I think this is the video I was on about, I think, where he does a couple of mad things.
I think Argentina have got something about that style, like we talk about style and stuff. Argentina definitely pull it off. That kit is obviously like infamous, but not just that, it looks great. But they've always had really skillful players, and they sort of built their team around big forward packs, but they had lots of skill behind as well, and I think now that's coming to the fore where they can match both together a little bit, where they get that talent of backlines and they get those sort of big burly forwards. I like that. Hugo Porter, okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that.
Good footwork, lovely skill.
This is against the Welsh 70s team as well, I think.
Okay, that's a really good honourable mention. I really like that.
And you just do that.
Drop goals. Drop goals is like a forgotten art a little bit as well, isn't it?
I mean, it is a boring... I'd much rather watch running, people scoring tries and drop goals, but then certain people make drop goals look good. Look at that.
Yeah, lovely. That's a really good shout, honourable mention. But I think...
only an honourable mention.
Yeah,
at most.
I think you win with Hernandez there. I didn't really think... I did think of him, but... Who was mine? Obviously, Freddie Michalak, but I think Hernandez probably gets in there style points wise.
Yeah, for a certain period of time, again, 2007 World Cup. You could say the same for loads of Argentine players for that World Cup, but he was. Oh, was he? He might. No, he might not have been player of the tournament, but I think he might have been nominated for it. So it was probably Habana, I think.
So we're getting into the fun part, really, and we centres and back three. This is where it really starts heating up a little bit. Centres. So last time we did centres as a partnership. We'll probably do something similar. But, I'll name mine and my honourable mentions, and then you can go for yours.
Okay.
My inside centre. We talked about Nakarawa being the greatest offloader and the best offloaders. I think there's only one person, that's Sonny Bill Williams, as an offloader. The career he had, not just in rugby union, but in rugby league as well.
Now boxing.
And now boxing. Obviously, 3-sport individual. Possibly one of the best 12s we've ever seen. An absolute brute, came from rugby league, can carry as hard as you can, but he just had that subtlety. So when you have that big carries, those huge carries, and you would just be able to just lift it up, put people into space. Normally when you have somebody like that, they are 6'5" or 6'3" and however many stone he was, and he was just a joy to watch, and he has been. His career, look, he had 4 clubs in rugby league. however many clubs in rugby union.
Toronto Wolfpack, famously.
Yeah, Toulon, Canterbury Crusaders, Chiefs, went to Japan. Obviously, how many caps he had for New Zealand? 58 caps for New Zealand, which is quite low, actually, 58 caps for New Zealand, but he obviously had that career in rugby league. But it was just, again, that style of being able to just offload out the top. Like, at certain points in his career, undefendable. Because you can't go high on him because he's too big. You get sat down. You can't go low on him because you know he's offloading on the tackle. Yeah. You know, possibly one of the best 12s to have ever lived. So,
and I like a player who's like just properly associated with one particular skill set. And he almost made the offloads fashionable, didn't he? That's probably an exaggeration, but he is like, his rugby union reputation is all about his ability to offload.
Yeah, most definitely. I loved him. I loved watching him. And then honourable mentions. I've got Gavin Henson. Obviously, Gavin Henson, the talent there was. He, like, when you talk about style, like, he looked so good on a rugby pitch.
He looked, I would argue, Henson looked 10 times better than Sonny Bill did.
Yeah.
For similar reasons, I picked Hernandez. Just the way he looked playing, he has he looked a bit different to everyone else. Just physically, the way he ran, he has a really strange strides, didn't he? Where he looked like he was going slowly, but then you see people chasing him, just like, you know, not being able to gain on him. Yeah. So there was something really special about Henson.
Yeah, I think Sonny Bill looked stylish in a different way to Henson. Henson looked good on the pitch. He always looked, you know, well thrown out, but Sonny Bill was good. You know, he had that offload game and stuff. So
I think Sonny Bill was better. Henson was much more stylish.
Much more stylish,
I agree.
So they were my 12s. Do you want to do your 12 or do you want me to do my 13s and then you can have your little piece on both centres?
Yeah, you give your 13, your justification, and then I'll go back.
Right. So
Sonny Bill is an honourable mention at 12 for me as well.
Okay. My 13.
And Mark Ring.
Mark Ring.
Basically because I hadn't seen much of him play, but my dad always just tell me he did this. He had this signature move, and again, signature move is a style points.
I know you're going to say
the knee chip.
The knee chip, yeah.
Which when I think about it, I don't really understand why people don't do it more.
I think it's illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's counted as a knock-on.
That's,
but back in the day it wasn't. But yeah, that's such a
disappointing.
Yeah, Mark Ring. He actually coached me once as well. Nice. My flankers. So you know how much I love this man.
Yeah, he sent it.
And I think when he first started, I remember him starting on the wing. He was on one wing, John Long was on the other wing. And he was a little bit raw, a little bit of a sort of, you know, quick, powerful type winger. And obviously the New Zealand setter trained him and coached him into being, well, the best 13 on the planet for a very long time. Obviously tore apart the Lions, but his skill set was unbelievable. Maybe a little bit, you're going to say unstylish, but for me it was the rugby brain of him. The ability to find space, offload, make space. He didn't always look the best.
No, but isn't that what we're looking for? Yeah. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. He was amazing. Again, that 2005 Lions tour, I couldn't live with him or Carter or any of their players basically. But I'm not getting the style.
Not getting the style. Okay, fair enough. I also had on my list there Bod, Brian O'Driscoll. I thought obviously there's one clip, Brian O'Driscoll clip.
Is it in training?
Yeah. The Brian O'Driscoll clip.
It's really good.
Have you got Brian on yours?
No.
You haven't got Brian.
I'd argue he's not very stylish. I think it's hard to be in those Irish kits.
Yeah, I know you mean. This
is mad.
There's a clip, a Lions clip, where in training, a chip goes over. He controls it with his foot, taps it up to himself.
The timing of the slow-mo does make it loads better.
Looks as if he's going to pass long outside and just pops it in out of the back as well. Like, his skill set was amazing. I remember him doing a pass and loop without actually passing to anyone. So he threw it over the player's head.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, his skill set is probably like nothing we'll ever see again. He was on my list.
I reckon he's the best 13 ever.
And the other one I had was Charles Piutau. So Charles Piutau's a 13, isn't he?
He's a fullback.
Fullback, is he? Okay, so maybe not Charles Piutau. But yeah, they were my two. So do you want to go for your
really nice? Yeah, okay. So yeah, 12 I've gone Henson. again, I think we've spoken a bit about him, so I won't labour.
No, but Henson, you know.
Oh, there's a. I think it might be Andrew Ford's a YouTube video called "Gavin Henson Forgotten Talent," and it starts with a punt that's so big that it catches the cameraman off. Wasted talent. That catches the cameraman off guard.
I used to love Henson. Remember, we used to have grey hair.
Oh yeah, he was. He took style more seriously than maybe any other player since.
Well, you know,
and he could fucking twat a ball as well, couldn't he? Especially at altitude in South Africa.
Anyone who dyes their hair grey and does a slick back has got to be thinking about their fashion more than their rugby sometimes.
Like, I sort of like the fact that he's a bit of an enigma as well as a personality.
Mm.
Oh, look at this step here. This double step. It's on Chris Latham as well, who I really used to like.
He was really good for the Ospreys, wasn't he? He had that really breakout season.
That was like it was in slow motion.
Okay, Gavin Henson.
Slash Mark Ring / Sonny Bill.
Yeah.
13, I've gone Yannick Josian.
Okay, yeah.
That partnership with Fritz inside him for Toulouse. Remember when Toulouse were the best, like sort of when I was a teenager? They were the first sort of dominant European team who won the Heineken Cup a few times. He had this really upright sort of style.
Huge bloke.
He was huge, but he just moved in quite a smooth way.
Yeah, he was fun. He was really fun to watch,
and he was just class as well. A classy player.
Yeah, I like that. I like Yannick Josian.
I've also got Conrad Smith.
Yeah, Conrad. Again, with style-wise, he was just quite effective, Conrad Smith.
Oh, I thought he had a nice...
he was
the way he moved.
A little bit plain for me. I think he was quite effective, wasn't he? Good step, good hands.
He was very extremely effective.
If you see
him and Nonu, you could argue the best 12-13 partnership ever.
To be honest, Nonu could be up there with the style points as well. He was really fun to watch. His kicking game was amazing. His offloading game is, again, probably more of a power player. But Yannick Josian, I like that. And you played him as a 13. Did he have? I
think he was pretty much always a 13. See, he's got that.
Yeah, lovely.
He looks like he's not trying. Yeah, really balanced.
Yeah.
And then he just steps the fullback looking like he's walking.
Maybe he has got 12 on his back, so proves you completely wrong. But
I'm sure he was normally a 13.
I think 12's definitely going to Gavin Henson, isn't it?
Yes. And my other honourable mention for 13 is Naya Selevu for Fiji, who he's been around for a while, but that last World Cup, he
looked really good.
He's really fun to watch and just class.
I think I'd like to go Yannick Josian. He didn't come up in my head because
Who was your first? Tanner
Umanga.
I'd have Josian for style, but there he is. We're in 12 again.
Yeah, we're in 12. I'm starting to worry that he's not. Well,
no, he is. Florian Fritz was definitely 12. Yeah. They played loads together, and he played outside him.
There is a 12 again.
Fuck! Have I got this wrong?
Well, maybe we're going.
I don't think I'm
Tanner Umanga.
We'll find out now. Florian Fritz played 13 his whole career.
We're going to have our first ever slash. Yannick Josian and Tanner Umanga on a slash.
No slashes. Not in episode 2. That is weak.
All right.
Fucking Poitrino as well. He could have made it.
Vincent Clerc. I was thinking.
Vincent Clerc, Dominici.
Mate, we're getting into the back. Okay, we're going to go Yannick Josian. If you want to tear short apart in the comments on YouTube or give us a message, then you can do. Was he a 12? Let's see what he says on his wiki. It's going to say centre. Yeah, it's going to say centre.
That's what I was trying to find out what props, and they never specify what side.
Okay, so we got our centres, Gavin Henson.
I really like that centre partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, last week's centre partnership was great as well, but it is satisfying when you get a nice balance.
Yeah, I agree. Right.
Wingers together as well?
Yeah, do you want to do your two wingers together and then I'll do mine?
Okay, 11, put it in.
Shane knows, eh?
Obviously
Shane O'Mac.
Shane no more.
I can't even spell. Will Yams. Shane Williams. What a fun player. I remember going to a game, Shane Williams. Was it Graham Henry who brought him back into the fold?
No, he brought him into the fold in the first place.
The first time, right.
And then Hansen brought him on the 2003 World Cup as a third choice scrum half.
Yeah.
And they played loads of these like reserve players against New Zealand, including Shane on the wing, and that seems to be like when things finally clicked. Almost like the start of that trajectory towards the Grand Slam in 2005.
Well, I remember watching Shane play against France in the Millennium Stadium in that Graham Henry era, and he had a really baggy shirt on back then, a really baggy shirt.
He looked like a little boy, didn't he?
And every time he got the ball, I swear the stadium almost went silent. It was like, hold your breath. And he did that to everyone for the next however many years. Every time he got the ball, you thought, fucking hell, what is he about to do here? And a lot of the time, it was something absolutely spectacular. Obviously ended up being Wales' all-time leading try scorer, still is.
By a distance
By
as well.
a distance. Even George North's ridiculous try counts didn't even... But, being that small... I think Guinness did an advert on him about being small.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He never really got injured. And he was probably playing against players like Horgan. Remember we used to match up against Horgan? Shane Horgan.
Yeah.
The big Irish winger.
What did I say?
Patrick Horgan.
Who the fuck is Patrick Horgan?
You probably went to school with him.
Shane Horgan, yeah.
And he used to hold his own against those all the time. He never used to think you can't play him because he's so bad defensively. But attacking wise, oh my god,
good as it gets.
As good as it gets. And we'll probably never see anyone. Rugby's sort of almost changed since then, really, hasn't it?
There's always a place for someone of that ability, I think.
Yeah,
he's the only player who I'm 50-50 on whether to admit this, but I'm already doing it. I cried that last game playing against Australia where he was crying the anthem.
Yeah, he had one of the best send-offs a Welsh player could ever have, didn't he?
Although there's still a question mark on whether Australia let him score at the end.
Yeah, who was it? It was either like Gittow or someone. And I think they were mates with him.
It might have been James O'Connor.
But yeah, he is. Yeah,
just the best. Just being responsible for so many really happy memories growing up. To the point where even when Wales had a really good side, there was still that element of just give the ball to him.
Yeah.
So look at this, bang,
and just make it like he would just make it fun. He would make watching rugby so much fun, wouldn't he? And Shane Williams.
This running against Scarlets is fucking mad.
I think he's going to make a few of our lists because he is a special.
He deserves multiple mentions.
Yeah.
And apparently, was it Andrew Hoare, Wales strength and conditioning coach? The year he retired, apparently he got his personal best speed and strength the year he retired. So he was a bit of a weird athlete because he just kept getting stronger and faster. I don't know if he was on some sort of weird growth hormone type thing.
He was durable though, wasn't he? He was very durable for the size he is. I also. Do you have any honourable mentions?
By the way, I've seen these highlights so many times, and I still enjoy
playing
watching
for
them.
Neath as well. Shout out Neath.
Yeah.
Do you have any honourable mentions for your one winger? I've got a couple.
I've got De La Salle,
mainly
based on that Wales 2007 game for Fiji, where he just tore us apart. But he played for he played in France for years and was always amazing. I think it was for Clermont. Maybe even back when they were called Montferrand, and they, around that era where any Welsh team would go to play away in France, so it would be 50 points, and he was one of those players that you really hope the ball never went to. And great style, unique, sort of technical style, I suppose, the way he ran, the way he passed the ball.
I had
stood out.
Someone quite similar to Shane Williams. I had Matsushima, Japanese winger.
I thought. He's an honourable mention at 14 for me.
Yeah, I had Matsushima.
Good shout.
And World Cup he had and stuff. I also had Sorelli Bobo as well. Sorelli and Bobo, who has a really good career, came over to Europe. I always thought, again, he's from that Seven sort of background, but he was just a great fun player to watch, good offloads, really powerful, big sort of winger. I think sometimes you have those big wingers and they try and, you think, they're just going to run through people. Bobo was trying to make space and trying to...
He did a lot of carrying the ball in one hand.
And I think that is a stylish point, holding the ball in one hand. That's a big...
It's really unnecessary.
Sonny Bill used to do it, carrying off. So I had Bobo as well. So who's your other winger?
And this is purely on running style and how aesthetically pleasing their stride and the way they look when they run is. I've gone Juan Imhoff for Argentina.
Yeah, okay.
And again, he didn't do anything particularly amazing. He's not he's probably not in the top 50 wingers I've ever seen. Just something about the way he ran was like, I don't know, like Rolls Royce.
Okay, nice. I like that.
I guess it's a little bit niche almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
Considering some of the players this is a good one.
He was very effective.
He runs with his head back a little bit. Look at that, just that style of running.
Yeah, and
again, it's the Argentina kit, which helps.
Yeah. Well, for my other winger, do you have any?
Honourable mentions: Matushida, David Campese.
So who did you have for that side, that wing?
Imhoff.
Okay. I've gone for someone who I love a lot, and that's Joe Rockethocko.
Yeah. Smoking Joe.
Yeah, Smoking Joe Rockethocko. The thing about Joe Rockethocko, and this is probably completely wrong, but that dive he used to do into the corner, where he would legs up in the air, looking over because he knew he'd scored. There was something so stylish about that. And
that's a good call.
I feel like he brought in that dive to rugby where everyone dives when there's no one around you. It wasn't always a thing. People just put the ball down on the floor, but he used to go over the line. Oh, this spin against Italy.
Yeah,
my God.
And wasn't it? Oh no, I was going to say, was he the one who did the ball through the legs? But it was Carl Spencer to him, wasn't it?
Yeah, there it is. And this dive he did so much. Where he would look over as he was diving through the air. He used to absolutely tear Wales apart as well.
Yeah,
I remember he scored a try against Wales in the Millennium. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I don't know if he's the first diver, but he had like a signature dive, didn't he? Yeah,
he scored a try against Wales in the Millennium Stadium. He was 1-on-1 with Shane, and he dummy kicked as if he was going to chip over and went, no, I'm just going to go round you anyway. He is right now. This is it.
Shanklin it was.
Yeah, Shanklin.
And we can't hear the commentary, but I'm pretty sure Jonathan Davis, even at this point, scores try. He knows. Remember him and Sivivatu as a combo together. Sivivatu wasn't around for long, but he was insanely good when he was playing as well.
And Joe Rockethocko's try-scoring record for a long time was try a game. I think he was even at one point like more than one try a game. And yeah, there's something about the way he runs, the way he knows he's scoring. This dive as well. He's always style points wise. We haven't talked about things like sliding in. When we're at the rugby club, I say no try unless you dive. He was the best dive finisher ever, even when there was no one around him. He used to make it look so cool.
Yeah, because it's not just like anyone with a sort of a punchy dive would get started because Chris Ashton's is minus points.
Oh yeah, it's like really bad. He just used to sort of like
you spoke. I can't remember who you mentioned earlier about someone gliding. He was just watching that run. Then that was just a full on glide for 50 metres.
Him and Dougie Howlett on the wings. So yeah, I really like Rockethocko. I think he's an underrated player. He's even been on a rugby club and boys have forgotten don't even know who Rockethocko is.
I think it's just because New Zealand churned them out so much, didn't they? But he ended up going to France and playing until he was late 30s, I think, for Racing, I think. Wasn't it?
Right, little side quiz. You've got to give me caps and tries that Rockethocko scored, because I'm sure it was close to caps and...
I mean, at a certain point, it was not far from try a game. I'm guessing that tailed off as he got more caps. So I'm going to guess... Is that what you're asking me to do? Guessing caps and tries?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess, 41 caps and 32 tries.
Right. You had 68 caps.
68.
And 230 points. Can you do the math on that?
Quick maths. 20, 40, 46 tries.
46 tries and 68 caps. He was unbelievable.
I'm willing to give you Rockethocko. I did consider him, but I think this is like a good example of where our definitions of style points clash slightly, because mine is, for him off, it's all about just...
running style.
Kind of, it's based on his running style, but really elegant. The Argentina kit helps, but I think you made a strong case for Rockethocko, so you can have that.
Thank you. Fullback again. I've got quite a few.
Yeah, I
got 3 actually, which I sort of lowered it down to.
I've got 8.
I'll give 8 players. Yeah. That's class. Let me do mine then, because you got a feature by it.
Don't peek.
I'll give my honourable mentions first. I had Bowden Barrett. Obviously, he's moved more as a fullback now. With Yeah, what's a 10? But Mwanga's more of a 10 now. He's slotted in as fullback.
Mwanga is almost on that list for 10s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bowden Barrett fullback. Another one which I think you probably wouldn't have thought of is Tim Nanai Williams.
He got to get hot stepper, isn't he?
Yeah, Tim Nanai Williams he's one of those.
Tim Nanai.
What's my name? He obviously didn't get many caps for New Zealand, and then obviously went over to. Oh, he didn't get any. Oh,
I was going to say
he's Samoan.
He's playing the Samoan the last couple of World Cups.
Yeah,
and that says 2014-15. Oh no, maybe he wasn't playing in the last.
That's 7. So international, he played for Samoa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So and he was one who came over to Europe quite early and has tore it up. He played for the Chiefs, didn't he? Yeah, he was big. Yeah, played most.
Yeah, that's who he's synonymous with, I think.
Yeah, really, again, a really fun rugby player to watch. But he was one of my honourable mentions. But the one who I went for was Christian Cullen. Probably.
He's in my overall list.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best fullbacks to have ever done it, Christian Cullen.
People who remember rugby slightly before my time often name drop him as one of the greats. Oh, this try is silly, yeah.
Yeah, he's like making dummies, he's like tricking the whole team.
Yeah. This bit around the halfway line where he just fools them all. He's rapid as well, isn't he?
So I went for Christian Cullen. I again,
run his side as well.
Yeah, he's really fun to watch. He has a really good skill set, but he obviously used to use his speed as well. This video is 3 minutes of him scoring long distance tries. So
like that Australia kit.
So who can have a compilation video of just long distance tries? Obviously plays a lot for New Zealand. Let me just check how many caps he's got for New Zealand.
Getting caps is difficult with older players because there were fewer games.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I love Christian Cullen. I used to love watching him play. He had 60 caps, so he was a stalwart for quite a while in there. I went Christian Cullen.
Oh, he was your first choice, was he? Who were you?
Nanai and Bowden. So
sorry, you went reverse, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go my first choice first. Liam Williams. Again.
The bomb diffuser.
I've heard it's bomb diffuser thing. I've also heard that was self-proclaimed, which is quite funny.
I think it's his Instagram, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I like that.
Again, the bomb diffuser.
I'm sure Andrew Ford has done like a short video of his like crazy skills as well. And again, in terms of having a unique style, those bow legs, he stood out the way he played on the park. Obviously pretty skinny, but like nails as fuck, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's really tough. I remember getting.
And that is just like additional bonus points. His skill, his offloading, I think people forget he played for two.
Oh no, Saracens he went to and won a European Championship.
You've got to pull that back though, because this is his like. What's his defining moment? That setting up that Lions try.
Yeah, that step on Kieran Reid, was it? He steps Kieran Reid and then sets off the Lions on probably their best try of all time.
Yeah.
Puts him.
You can see Kieran Reid's reaction as well. He's like, he's just absolutely done me over there.
Yeah. Great shout. I loved him. I've always loved Liam Williams. But yeah, he went to the Saracens. A bit like we talked about George North last week. He went to the Saracens in his pomp, and he went and won it all. And I think people forget that he was a proper amazing player.
Even as recently as the last World Cup, I thought he played really well.
Yeah, he did.
That 2019 Grand Slam Wales side, he was outstanding. I think that England game we played at home, he was particularly good. He was great for Scarlets for years. And just something about the way he looks when he plays, he's just a bit different.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a very fun player to watch.
And didn't he kind of make it as a pro player a bit late, and he was like a roofer or something for a while? And I don't know whether that's affected it, but like he looks different to all those players who've come through the academy, and they're all similar shapes, all similar like conditions.
Yeah. And
he's just this sort of wiry's the word, isn't it? For that kind of shape.
Honourable mentions.
Ben Smith, Bean Smuff, Christian Cullen, Cam Winnett.
In 10 years' time, we're going to be looking back on Winnett and thinking, well...
12 months' time. I got Nicolas Brusque. Remember him? He played for France and Biarritz in the early 2000s. Again, just more to do with running style, upright.
Yeah.
Very similar to Josian in terms of style, but like a fullback version. He was kind of just like a niche throwaway mention. Serge Blanco.
Yeah. Oh,
haven't seen enough of him. But the way people talk about him, he was like...
Yeah.
He ticked all the boxes we're looking for this.
93 caps from 80 to 91 as well. That's a mad.
That is mad.
International Rugby Hall of Fame, IRB Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he is one of the greats.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong 15 here. I've got Neil Jenkins fullback.
Yeah, that's definitely
yeah, it's not him. Blanco, and I've got Damien Williams as well. I mean, he has been around for long, but he is a World Cup winner, and he has got a really entertaining just way of playing. Really nice footwork, really smooth. Loves a sort of like wide step.
Yeah. Can play 10 as well.
Can play 10. I don't know if he actually plays 10 most of the time.
Yeah.
He's like a utility player for South Africa at the moment and has been for the last couple of years. But I think he'll end up being like a starting player with loads of caps in a few years' time.
100%.
Again, just for the style it brings. And Kanan Moody as well, who's a centre. Yeah. I haven't seen much of him because I think he's about 12. But he looks, again, style points wise. South Africa have got some crazy talent coming.
Yeah, Moody plays 13, does he?
He plays I think he plays winger 30.
Right, so we got Christian Cullen and Liam Williams. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Not for me. I'd love to see Liam in there.
Well, I think...
How much have we both seen of Christian Cullen? Are we partly going on reputation?
Okay, Liam Williams. Okay, so that's our 15. So that's our style points, or stylish 15, okay? So let me go through them quickly, and then we'll have to think about a captain.
I wasn't sure about my entries, but looking at it, I think you've got more of them in. I really like your suggestions as well, but I think looking at this now, before we go through it, I really like the look of that.
Yeah.
Look at that back three. Shane Williams, Liam Williams, Joe Rockefeller.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, so starting from Luke said, so Gethin Jenkins, Shalk Britt and Tongan Thor as our front row. Like, let's be honest, that's a scrum, well, maybe not Shalk, but that's a scrimmage in front row as well, so you're getting away with it as well. It's not like we're sacrificing. They
get parity in the scrum, maybe. They're not getting 4 or 5 penalties a game.
Nakarawa and Lucy, offload masters, like literally they are getting, so some fun players to watch. Second rows is possibly the most boring position, and they make it look easy.
They make it look fun, don't they?
Yeah, and fun. Bill Matter, Justin Tipperick, and Sergio Parise. Oh my god, that is mad.
They all bring something slightly different, don't they? As well as style.
I think six. We're probably going to get torn apart for 6.
I'm uncomfortable with Matter at 6.
Yeah, I am. That's one thing. Maybe if you want to comment and let us know what some 6s we missed. This maybe Lobby might have been the shout. My one.
Lobby might have been a good shout.
But I did put him as a 7. But anyway, yeah, we've got him. Fabien Galtier. What a shout that was. Didn't even think of him. Amazing.
Galtier and
Juan Martin Hernandez.
I love that as a 9-10 combo.
Yeah.
I love the whole back line, actually.
Yeah, Juan Martin Hernandez. Like, of all the 10s, you'd have thought someone like King Carlos now would have got in, but you're so right on style points. Like Carlos Spencer and stuff, they were like, he's a bit ad hoc, wasn't he? Like,
and I get, he's probably me, every other stylish starting 15 on the internet or on any other podcast, he would probably be there. And I'm not trying to go Juan Martin Hernandez to be niche. I think he was easier on the eye and more stylish. He is, for me, the most obvious choice in this whole team.
Yeah. Henson, Josian might get torn apart, but, I like it. I like the shout. I quite like the Gavin Henson, bit of a ball player, and then Josian, again, bit of a balanced runner as well. He's going to go through gaps.
Yeah, the out and out 13.
Shane and Rokethoko, that's a try scoring combo. So you've got the highest try scorer forever for Wales, and then you've got Joe Rokethoko, who had like that ridiculous record for New Zealand of try per game. That's stupid. And then you've got Liam Williams, who obviously cult hero classic for Wales, but
I think cult hero suggests that he didn't make it at the top level. He was again, and I think we made this comparison last week when we put Halfpenny in, and Halfpenny will probably go down as the defining fullback for this last 10, 15 years. For me, I much preferred Liam Williams.
Yeah, as a player. And we've already proven it with, that step against New Zealand and for the Lions, and, going to Saracens and doing it at the top level.
He wasn't as consistent, but I think his best moments were more obvious than Halfpenny.
And far more stylish, to the point.
Actually, I was going to say, Halfpenny never did anything like that for the Lions before he was playing with the tour.
Yeah, but how stylishly was it? How stylishly was it?
Less stylish than Liam, definitely.
So captain, finally.
Juan Martin for me.
The ultimate. Yeah, well.
Or is there an obvious cap? Oh, Paris. In terms of someone who's been the captain.
Yeah, you know what? And that's 2 number 8s in a row as well. Perfect position for a captain, to be fair. The link between the forwards and the backs. Sergio Parise, most capped. Probably captained Italy more times than anyone as well.
Surely.
Right, that's episode 2, Star Points XV. Okay, so we're happy with that team. So everyone who's listening on audio now, we've got one last little game. So this is for the YouTube massive. We're going to do one final little game where Sean is going to show me a picture. Well, do you want to explain the picture?
So I've got a picture of a rugby player from the last 20 years, and I've slightly obscured the picture in one way or another. And Dav has to guess who it is, but I will also give clues on the teams they played for, club and country.
Okay. Right, so Scottish gloves.
Quite a distinctive look with the hair and the marigolds.
Oh, I think I've got it straight away.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Is it a centre/winger?
Yeah, mostly wing.
And he's a brother?
I don't know.
Is it Rory Lamont? Something Lamont?
It's something Lamont.
Yeah, it's Lamont.
Well, you know who it is. Yeah. He's got a class first name.
I remember he's definitely brothers. They had 2 brothers. One of them had brothers.
Yeah, Rory Lamont was definitely a player. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his brother. What's his name? Something Lamont. Come on, you got to give me.
Sean Lamont.
Sean Lamont.
All right, the second one, I really enjoyed doing this, but I don't know if I didn't get Sean Lamont, I'd be amazed if you got this.
I know exactly who that is.
Go on then.
That is Scarlets and Wales fullback Matt Cardy.
Oh, very good.
And I guarantee you that picture, if you didn't obscure his face, he had a big gum shield in his mouth as well.
He had the black and white gum shield.
Black and white gum shield, but it just looked like teeth.
Oh, well done. I thought you might say Duncan Jones. Like that, the hair does give it away a bit, but there weren't many photos of him online.
Yeah, Matt Cardy. So everyone on YouTube, I will give Sean a couple of these for the next episode. And we've got a couple of other features as well. But yeah.
I'm disappointed you found that so easy.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, we bloody love rugby, so what you